Hello, guys. This is Jenny Lee from Jennyssight.net. I'm coming on here today because I've had to do a little bit of soul searching on information. Sometimes you get to a point that you feel like you can't trust your environment. And wherever you look and look under the rock and turn, it just seems like it's leading in circles around and around, and it's not going anywhere. But I think as humans, we tend to think there's a better and quicker or an easier source to pull than actually do the work. Well, I had to learn that lesson the hard way. So this year has been tough, and then I started listening to people and intel that I thought might have some true information. But it didn't end up that way. It ended up more confusing me and taking longer to find out the truth. So sometimes spirit, they show you, that you could go that route. I don't know if you're going to get the same results, but you could try it. Well, they were right. So for a while, it's always been just me getting the information, say, example, the keys, just downloading Spirit's information, going in after that, and it was simple. Not always, but when things were important, I made sure that I knew. So now I decided to allow another energy to kind of put a little thought into my head that might possibly be right. I was wrong, and now I'm having to go back and fix mistakes of allowing that energy to have an opinion or process that information. So you're going back through things to make sure everything's right, because Spirit said, hey, you got to learn the lesson on your own. You've got to. So next couple weeks, I'm revamping some information. I'm going through the dialogue, going through documentation, and going through everything to make sure everything is accurate and correct what I'm getting. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm shutting down any type of intel that I'm hearing whatsoever. Like nothing. I'm going back to the original way that I got it, was just downloaded, waited for it to present, and then just see it happening. And so, sometimes you're not guarded all the way. You're not paying attention to everything, and you're just not checking everything like you should be. And that catches you off guard. And then what you notice is you're more tired and more wore out, because you are kind of taking a longer road by listening to that and thinking it was going to be convenient. It's not. It will slap you in the face eventually, and that's what it did. So I had to pick my battles of where I needed to base my opinion and where I didn't. But now I'm going back to just me and Spirit, and that's just the way it's going to be. Those are dogs, so that's part of the process where I live. But, when you make a mistake, you've got to admit it. People got to know that not everything is perfect all the time. Not everything is easy all the time. And any seer or any person that's spiritual or a warrior or anything, if there's not times they don't doubt themselves, they're not being honest, because we want to make sure things done correctly, but you also want to admit your mistakes. And I'm just making sure that every dot is followed now, and everything that I need to look at, I do look at, instead of thinking, it'll be okay. I'm not doing that no more. But like I said, when you guys ask for information and stuff, I'm just going to tell you it's not coming from any other source anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. And so I just got to follow the documentation, following the accuracy of the information from here out. From here out, period. And maybe, those things were put in my path deliberately. Maybe it was to confuse me or make me look at things a different way. But that was a test. And I'm not listening to that no more. So somebody can give me advice or tell me what they feel, that's fine. But doesn't mean I'm going to put any attention into it anymore. Because everything on this world is like this. And that lower 3D information, no, not no more. Not on anything. Because it's just confusing everybody. Because it feels like there's never an end to it. And so when you sever that cord and you don't listen to it no more, you could focus on what needs to be done and processed and worked out. And that's where I'm at on the flow again, of getting that information out again. But I want people to know that I make mistakes. But I admit the mistakes. I'm not perfect. But I am honest. And I am truthful. And so the stuff that I'm working on now, I'm doing a weekly presentation for Edge Life magazine for, I would say weekly. I'd say maybe twice a month I meet with her on stuff that I'm seeing and that is coming in the future. And I will share my information on there, on YouTube, what is on this platform, Instagram, and a few people that I trust, James Rink, and a couple of those shows that I honestly believe they're after the truth. But right now, I kind of kicked myself in the ass on that, and I am refocused and going forward with things, and excited about the future and what's to come, and being a part of that, and looking at the edge of the universe and paying attention to that, all that information. But I want to say one thing. We're after all this is said and done, and after this is over and everything is done, it could be 5 years down the road, but you're going to see a lot of people disappear because their information is not going to line up with the facts. And the real work starts after we start this new creation. The real work really starts. And that's blood, sweat, and tears. That's going to be hard, but I'll be here doing it and helping people and animals. So I just wanted to come on here, talk about, I'd say, my downfall, my lesson, and I think everybody goes through it. But I will be posting more spiritual lessons and information on YouTube. But I just want to be honest. It's a good thing. So you guys have a good week. Have a good Christmas. And I know you're going to have a good year. Have a good night.